Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining me on a Thursday. It's not normal for me. The reason we're meeting today instead of tomorrow is because Jacqui's going to another line dancing convention. So I'm super excited to experience more line dancing. So let's see who's here today. Jacqui says, greetings, fine friends. Good morning, Michelle. Hello, Constance. Beautiful day, AJ. Good morning, Jacqui. Hi, Mimi. Good morning, Becky. Good morning, Greg. Greg, I got back to you this morning. I don't know if you've seen my email yet. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I'm a self-studied astrologer. I'm joining you guys from Northern Illinois. And today we are here to talk about tomorrow's transit, and then we're going to pull some oracle cards to see how to best utilize the energies of Mercury meeting up with Uranus. So that's why we're here. Cool. Hello, April. Good morning, Debbie. You're welcome, Greg. Good morning, Roseanne. Yes, if you guys don't know Darla, she is my cattle dog. She's a blue heeler mix. That's what she is. She's our old lady, and she hangs out with us on the couch. She's from Arkansas, so she definitely has a southern accent. Yeah, she's great. She's here all the time. Good morning, Yvonne. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling off. I'm not used to being live on a Thursday. The energy is different. So I guess I'll just start teaching. Did you guys know that each of the days of the week is ruled by an astrology sign? So I'm usually here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm usually working with Moon, Mercury, or Venus. Today's Thursday, so we're working with Jupiter. I wonder if I just have like too much going on right now. Greetings, Lori. Doesn't it feel like Wednesday because of the holiday? That's actually a really good point, Jacqui. Yeah, this week is all messed for me because, you know, we had Monday off for Memorial Day. And then I'm going to that dance convention tomorrow, so I'm like not working tomorrow. So I've had a 3-day week, and it's that time of year. So I used to be a teacher, for you guys who don't know, and this time of year just brings up those feelings of senioritis. Every year it's just like, oh, the weather's getting warm, I'm checked out, I'm done, I don't want to be here anymore. Like it's time to move on and go enjoy summer. So that's definitely happening as well. Goddess Grand Rising. Sending love to all from Tennessee. Feels strange for Lori too. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say on the front end of this session. No, I'm just going to get into it. And we always have really good talks. So tomorrow, Friday, May 31st, we have two planets coming together, Mercury and Uranus. They're going to meet up at 24 degrees of Taurus. This is a conjunction that brings incredible insights, mind-blowing realizations, and ample energetic downloads. I know I just said a lot of buzzwords, but this is because Mercury is the planet that represents our mind, our daily communication, our daily thought patterns, and Uranus is the higher expression of Mercury. Uranus represents the cosmic mind, universal wisdom, galactic knowledge. So when these two planets come together, it's as if our daily mind, Mercury, receives galactic information from Uranus. It's as simple as that. So this can come in moments that leave you in awe, or this can come in downloads that take weeks, months to process. When Uranus is involved, anytime that there's an aspect to Uranus or Uranus energy, the energy feels very WTF. WTF was that? WTF does that mean? WTF just happened. But this Mercury-Uranus conjunction is a fairly common occurrence because it happens about once every year. But I believe it's when we have the awareness of what's going on that we get to choose to tap into it a little bit more. So it might be personally beneficial for you to find where 24 degrees of Taurus falls into your chart. And this area of your chart, that last chunk of Taurus, this has been a hot area. We've had Uranus hanging out between 21 and 24 degrees, while Jupiter, Venus, the Sun, and now Mercury have all passed over Uranus, tapping into this galactic wisdom, this cosmic mind. And then we also had our most recent new moon at 18 degrees of Taurus. So just a few degrees before that. So I'm feeling that now that Mercury is taking his turn to hang out with Uranus, perhaps this provides us with some of that mental clarity about everything that's been happening since April, when Jupiter started this Uranus train. So April 20th, that's when Jupiter met up with Uranus. And I stated that this would be an abundance of unexpected resources, an abundance of unexpected blessings. And at that time, at the end of April, we knew that this wasn't going to drop into your life exactly on April 20th. We knew it was going to take some time to unfold. Jupiter is a slow-moving planet. Uranus is an even slower-moving planet. So now that Mercury, our daily mind, is meeting up with Uranus, to me this feels like the conscious mind is finally able to process. It's finally able to comprehend all of the magic that has been unfolding since mid-April, late April. So, by knowing which house in your natal chart holds 18 to 24 degrees of Taurus, you can get a sense for which area of life may be experiencing all of these radical upgrades. So when it comes to astrology and when it comes to anything in life, there are times to expand your consciousness and there are times to focus in on something, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. And to me, right now, in this moment, this is a time to focus in, just to gain your bearings, just to get a feel for like where you are, what's actually happening, what are you actually experiencing. Because I know it can be difficult to apply these concepts to your life at times. When I talk about the astrology and like, I know you guys have a lot going on and you have an active family life, you have a work life, you have a romantic life, you have a creative life, you have a private life, you have a spiritual life, you have a community life. And at some times, I'm sure you all are just like, Jacqui, WTF? WTF do you want me to do with this information? But when you narrow down your chart, when you see that there's all of this action happening in one area of your life, you can examine the one specific area. So I'm just going to pretend that 18 to 24 degrees is happening in someone's 7th house. So you can ask yourself, how have I been receiving an abundance of unexpected resources in my one-on-one relationships? And when you pinpoint down, okay, I know for me, this is happening in this house, so let me just examine what's happening right here. Then you feel, this is how I learned astrology, okay? So you do what works, but this is how I learned astrology. Then you feel into those energies. Okay, one-on-one relationships, an abundance of unexpected resources. Okay, well, I know within the last few months I had an argument with my coworker, but that brought us to a place of deeper understanding, which in an odd turn of events has benefited my career in XYZ ways. So there I can see an abundance of unexpected Uranus WTF resources. Then once you narrow down, I know that this is in my 7th house, one-on-one relationships, cool. Then how can you see that same type of energy resonating through other parts of your life? If you feel into what these planetary energies are doing to the spot in your natal chart where they're happening, you'll begin to start to see them all over your life. And this is why I focus a lot on when I talk about astrology, I try to remind you guys not to use it as a rule book. You know, just because something is transiting through your 7th house doesn't mean it has to affect only your one-on-one relationships. Use it as a guide. Use it as just a way to understand the metaphor of life. If you want to dive deeper into the basics of astrology and learn how to interpret your birth chart, I do have a course on Insight Timer. It's called Astrology 101. It's a 13-day introduction to astrology. And in that course, if you haven't taken it yet, you'll meet all the signs, you'll meet all the planets, you'll meet all the houses and more. And then these talks on Insight Timer will make a little bit more sense once you've laid your solid foundation. But in regard to tomorrow's conjunction with Mercury and Uranus, it's happening at 24 degrees of Taurus. So which area of your life has been going through all this radical Uranus change? Which house has been going through all of this radical Uranus change? It might make more conscious sense tomorrow. Hello, Tiffany. Saying hello to everyone. Join late Uranus in the first. These things have been rough the last few months. Actually, last year I'm exhausted by the amount of lack and my efforts to practice gratitude. You got it, Tiffany. You got it. I have a couple seconds. I'm just going to run through real quick all of the houses. Yeah, just so you have an idea if you're not aware of the houses. 18 to 24 degrees of Taurus. That's what we're looking for in your chart. Right now, like, it doesn't necessarily matter where all these planets are in your chart. I want to see... because in the sky right now, Uranus is sitting at 24 degrees of Taurus. So you would look at your own birth chart. You'd find Taurus, it's the bull. So it's a circle with the little crown with the horns. And then you're going to look for the end of Taurus, because there's 30 degrees in a sign. We're looking for 18 to 24. So a little over halfway, almost towards the end. And you're heading away from Aries, the V. You're heading towards Gemini, the 4 lines. So the astrology works counterclockwise. So which house has 18 to 24 degrees of Taurus? You're going to look towards the middle of your chart and find the tiny little number between 1 and 12. If this is your first house, that's your personality. It's your sense of self. It's your ego. It's your meat suit, this identity that you are experiencing through this lifetime. Second house has to do with your resources, material resources, what you have available to you. Could be your finances, could be your skills, what you use to create resources, the building block. Third house, your mind, communication, thought patterns, ideas, concepts. Your siblings are included in your third house, your neighbors, your close environment. Fourth house, family of origin, who you grew up with, what your traditions are. More specifically, the maternal side of your life, so it could be your relationship with your mother, and it also could be what you consider home right now. Where is your home base? Fifth house, self-expression, creation, creating art, romance, play. This is where your children are represented in your house, or in your chart as well. Sixth house, daily routine. Your how you approach your day-to-day life, what you decide to do with yourself. This is your sense of service to others. So how are you creating a life of service? Your pets are included in your sixth house. Seventh house is one-on-one relationships. So this could be your relationship with one other person. It could be a coworker, it could be a romantic partner, it could be a close friend. Seventh house is also your sense of balance in your life as well. So how are you outputting and how are you inputting? That could be brought up when you have seventh house transits. Eighth house is the deepest, darkest secrets, the deepest, darkest intimate parts of your life. It's where you bury some stuff. A lot of secrets are in the eighth house. This is where like true deep intimacy comes in. When it comes to like sex, I consider that fifth house, because that's more like play, self-expression. Ooh, this is fun. Eighth house is when you have like soul sex. It's like spiritual intimacy. Let me expose all of my vulnerabilities to you and you'll do the same to me. That's eighth house, which is where transformation comes from. Ninth house is all about travel, expansiveness, wandering. Did I say exploring? It's just expanding. It's expanding your consciousness, expanding your worldview. How can I reach farther? How can I bring more into my life? 10th house is your responsibilities, where you feel limited, how you structure your life, how you create boundaries for your life. 10th house is also related to your career, but it's more about like your own limits. How do you limit yourself? How do you father yourself? The 10th house is also related to your father. 11th house is related to your community, the groups that you belong to, the society that you're a part of. 11th house also has to do with the future. So what do your hopes and dreams look like for the future? When you have 11th house transits, it could be, especially with Uranus, because Uranus rules the 11th house. This could switch up your concept of what you thought the future is supposed to look like, or what you actually want the future to look like. And then the 12th house is all self-undoing. The 12th house is where we retreat back to solitude a lot of the times. 12th house has to do with uncovering a lot of deep hidden things in your life, in your unconscious. The 12th house is where you throw away all the personality that you thought you wanted so that you could be empty and clear in order to go back into the first house where you start with this new personality of yourself. I should snip that and put that specifically on YouTube because I don't do that very often. So we are talking about Mercury and Uranus coming together at 24 degrees of Taurus. This could be an aha, a clarity moment. Okay, my mind has now caught up with all of this radical unfolding WTF that's been happening lately. So I'm going to use two brand new decks that I haven't even used that often. So I don't know, WTF is going to come out of this today. That's the theme of today's WTF. And first, that's coffee ground. Ugh. That's been happening a lot lately. All right, first, I want to ask, how are these unexpected resources showing up? Because if they're unexpected, we might not know to look in certain places. We might not be able to realize that they're coming. So how are these unexpected resources showing up? Kayla has seen 2 hawks in less than 10 minutes. That's great. Greg, are you asking what time this is happening tomorrow? I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know it's morning time. It's morning time that this is happening. So, first deck, this is Guides of the Hidden Realms. This name looks so familiar, Colette Baron Reed, and she made the Spirit Animal Oracle. If you guys are an oracle nut like I am, you could tell by the deck I'm pointing to with my finger. Yeah, she made that deck as well. So this just came in my Hay House card deck club box. So I don't know what's going to come out of this, but we're going to ask, how are these unexpected resources showing up in our lives? So I always do group readings here on Insight Timer, so feel free to send your energy into this deck and ask the guides that you work with most strongly. Actually, this is, okay, that's why I chose this. Guides of the Hidden Realms. So I figured like hidden, unexpected, they're kind of lingering in the background there, like maybe they could tell us they're hiding, so how could I do this? Yeah, send your energy into the deck. We're asking, how are these unexpected resources showing up? I don't know if it's like this high quality camera, but sometimes I feel like I was moving them on purpose, but sometimes I feel like the image is like 3D here. So the whole reading is going to be for everyone. I'm going to wait for 3 cards to fall out of this deck for us, letting us know how these unexpected resources are showing up. However, if you have a number right now in your head between 1 and 3, it could be your guides telling you which card holds the strongest message for you. If your intuition points to other cards in a different way, that could be your guides saying like, hey, listen to that card. I'm going to show you the backs of the cards once the 3 of them fall out. And it's fun sometimes to just play with your intuition. Like, oh, how do you want to talk to me today? We all have access to all of the clair senses. You know, Mercury, Uranus, maybe you can believe that a lot more is possible with this conjunction coming up tomorrow. It's when you tell yourself, like, oh yeah, I can't see pictures in my head. And then you affirm that over and over. Yeah, I don't see pictures. Yeah, I don't have clairvoyance. Yeah, I can't do that. Then of course you're not going to have it. But if you kind of open up like, let's see what comes today. And you just drop all expectations and you go into wonder. I wonder, you know. So sometimes, you know, you might see something. Sometimes you might have a knowing. Sometimes you might hear something that includes a ringing in your ear. Sometimes you might smell something. Sometimes you might feel a chill. Someone that I worked with the other day was saying that she tears up. I thought that was pretty beautiful. That's a sensory reaction to a card. But the universe also speaks to you in every single way. I don't know if I get down on the simulation theory. I think I do. I think we're in charge of everything that happens around us. So if a bird lands on your window, or if your dog starts barking, or if the phone rings, or, you know, if something in your environment happens, that's your consciousness making that change when I hold up a certain card. So that's it. Just waiting for one more card to come through. Hi, Jess. Mercury, Uranus, 24 degrees of Taurus tomorrow. Be patient while waiting for the echo. You're welcome, Jess. Okay, so how are these unexpected resources showing up? Great. Do you guys hear that? Did you feel that? That's how you tap into your intuition. There's nothing. I wasn't hearing anything. That's something that I learned, and I love that. It brings me immediately into presence. Try it. Try it to your friends. It's a new party trick. All right. How are these unexpected resources showing up? I'm going to show you the backs of the cards. Let us know in the chat which cards resonate with you most strongly, if any. If none of the cards resonate, your intuition's not broken. The whole reading just is equally as important for you. How are these unexpected resources showing up? Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat which cards are resonating with you. Jessie, did you hear that? You have to drop everything because you're listening. You turn on all your senses. Well, mostly you're hearing, but you're just like, wait. Instant presence. I'll show you the cards one more time. How are these unexpected resources showing up? Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Athena and Goddess, thank you guys very kindly. Athena said if everyone here donates $2 today, we could really bring Jacqui some resources. On Friday, I shared a lot of feelings at the end of my Insight Timer session, and it was very vulnerable, and I love my students. I love my followers. You guys responded in kind, so thank you. Thank you for that, Athena. All right, let's see who's working with what. Jacqui, 1 and 2, and 3 and 2. Goddess, 3, 2, Constance, 1, 3. April, all 3. Greg, 3, 2, 1 in that order. Jennifer, 3. Leah, 1 and 2. Lindsay, 3. Mercury, 2, 3, 1. Rebecca, 2, 3, 1. Dina, 3 made me feel a little nauseous. Interesting. Mimi, 2 and 3. Sarah, 2 made my heartstrings pull. Kaz, all 3. Marina, 3, 2. Athena, all 3. Cindy, 1 and 2. Nicole, 3, then 1. Another April, 2 for me. Michelle, 1. Bonnie got something from each one. Lovely. Sarah, 2 is jerking my heart. Was that someone else said that, but it wasn't you, was it? Sarah? Oh, Sarah again. Okay. It's like a magnet. Interesting. Jess, 2 and 3. You have Chiron at 27 degrees of Taurus. Very curious to hear these. Interesting. Chiron is healer. You gotta know your wounds to heal them, Jess. Kelly, 2, then 1. Kayla. It is you, Kay. You changed your name. Cool. 1, yellow, willpower, clear vision. 2, appreciate the art. 3, you don't have to see every part of what you desire to appreciate what you can see from where you are right now. Cool. I love these insights because they just, and it makes a lot of sense. Sarah, 2, 3, 1 for you as well. AJ, all 3. It is you. Bonnie, I'm going to need to see the backs side by side. I don't think they're exactly the same. And then Kayla just saw 2, 1, 3 in that order. They are exactly the same. Are they? Yeah, even like the little dealios on the bottom. You see that little like purple drawing. Yeah, they're all the same. I wonder why they look different. Megan, 1 and 3. Okay. How are these unexpected resources showing up? Thank you, Jess, for sending a donation on Venmo. That's much appreciated. If you guys are wanting options off of Insight Timer, I do have Venmo and PayPal in my link tree. Good afternoon, Kieran. We don't have Gemma today, but we have Darla. Tiffany's been seeing the number 912, so 1 and 2. You know, Tiff, if you add all those up, you get a 3. So, right? Because 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And then add 1 plus 2, that's a 3, so it could be all 3 for you today. Marina, 3, very emotional, strong vibes. I'm not sure actually what yet, but I felt a sense of relief, courage, and hope. Cool. Sarah, 912 is your area code. So cool. All right. How are these unexpected resources showing up? Yes, that's exactly how you spell Darla, Kieran. All right. Card number 1 is card number 27. Every word has power. And there's a lot of words on these cards. Education, power of persuasion, communication, inner dialogue. The key concepts of this: the influence of words, education, power of persuasion, how we communicate, information, affirming self-talk, being mindful of internal dialogue. Words provide a meaningful container for our thoughts, intentions, and overall energy. Every word we say, whether aloud or silently, resonates with an influential frequency, sending out a signal that connects with its counterpart in the material world. How we communicate is reflected by the infinite intelligence within the surrounding field of energy and the people who are influenced or impacted by what we say. Right now, you have a lot of power, and your words will either support someone or catapult them into chaos. Be mindful in how you approach others and be as neutral as possible. You are not responsible for other people's triggers, but use discernment and compassion as you communicate. Even when setting boundaries, kind and respectful words have the most power. Diplomacy and tact go a long way when so many are feeling vulnerable. Be clear about what you are saying and ask for clarity from others. In every word, there is either a sword or a magic wand. Choose the wand. How are these unexpected resources showing up? Things that have been trying to come into your life since early April, mid-April. It has to do with the words that you're using. So they're showing up through the way that you are communicating with people, through the way that you choose to speak to people, the things that you choose to share, the mindset that you choose to adapt in your life. Yeah, this, I feel like if card number 1 was resonating with you, this is paying homage to the mindset work that you've been doing for quite a while. And this is just a little bit of affirmation about, yeah, you've been doing it. You've been expanding how you think. You've been keeping your thoughts and your words a little bit more compassionate and open. And that's how you're allowing things into your life. And it's similar to what I was saying when I was shuffling. If you tell yourself, I don't have clairvoyance, I can't see pictures, right? I've never had a good relationship. I've never had a good bank account. There's no way that that's ever going to happen for me. If that's what you keep putting into your mind, if that's what you keep resonating with the vibration of your voice, the universe is going to say, okay, that's what you want. Cool, I'm going to keep giving that to you. But all these unexpected resources are coming because you're learning how to use your words with power. Kiana, wow, this message is definitely for me. I just read something similar on my astrology this morning. Love that. Tiffany had to let go of a friendship and decided to take a moment, express love, but practice honoring my boundaries. Good job. It's all like, I love that this card talked about how essentially it said other people's emotions aren't your problem, but choose compassion and diplomacy and tact with your words. Yes, other people's emotions are not your problem. How they react to what you need is not your problem. What your problem is how you present that information. There's 2 ways to say I need space. You can say, hey, this is what's happening within me. I need this space. Or you can say like, F off, I hate you, you suck, get away from me. Same message, 2 different deliveries. So our power lies in how we communicate those things. How are these unexpected resources showing up? Card number 2 is card number 21. Death reclaims a life. Letting go. Yeah, I think it all says it in the key concepts here. Natural endings, grief, letting go, the attributes of emptiness, saying goodbye with blessings, the sacred quality of death. Greg, There are always endings in life. Look how cute Darla is right now. There are always endings in life. Some expected and prepared for, others not. It's the price of existence on earth to be full, then empty, to flourish, then decay, to be born, then die. We live and love fully and freely until our bodies are no longer able to support our life force energy. Then we move on to another type of life in the invisible realms. Returning to source, our journey on earth is done. It's important to honor and bless the endings in your situation now. Let go so you can grieve in the temporary emptiness. It's okay to feel vulnerable and sad, or even relieved and glad. Some things, situations, and relationships are not meant to last, but that doesn't diminish any of the gifts you've shared as a result of coming together. The good news is that letting go what no longer serves you die and acknowledging it is also an invitation to be reborn. Soon, what must be empty will be refilled, and the taste will be even sweeter. Surrender your resistance and accept this beautiful gift. I don't think I've ever heard of death put so beautifully and eloquently than this card. This is actually gorgeous. How are these unexpected resources showing up? There could be a lot of loss in your life. There could be grief. This could be a person. This could be a relationship. This could be a job, a situation, a version of yourself. But these unexpected resources that Jupiter and Uranus are bringing together, they're showing up through the things that you have to let go of, because we only have so much space in our energy body, you know, like we are limited by density. We are limited by our 3D bodies. There's only so much we can hold. So you have to let go of some things. And that doesn't mean that they're bad. That doesn't mean that they're icky and you got to get them off of you. It just means that they've run their course. If it's a person that you're letting go of, be thankful for the times that you did have together, even if sometimes were turbulent and sometimes were great. Like, that's what the grieving process is. It's honoring the good times and the bad, the favorable times and the times that suck the life out of you. But knowing that that's just a past version of your story that is now in the past. And you have to let that go in order to accept these unexpected, abundant resources. I want to see what you guys are chatting about. The song Let the Good Times Roll just popped into my mind. Interesting. Kelly, this is definitely for me. My current job I love is ending in 2 weeks because funding ran out, and I'm struggling with goodbyes and attachments. Of course, if it's something that you don't want to end and it's ending, of course you're going to be like, no, never. You know, like when you get broken up with, you're like, man, I wasn't ready for this. But then you always find what's on the other side. You always find that there's something more in alignment for you and there's something better for you, you know. Yes, Kieran, Gemma is okay. She's just sprawled out on a different couch. April resonates as I realize my job, or as I release my job of 29 years. Oh, Kelly, you're a therapist at a high-need elementary school. Oh my gosh. Something about those kids. Something about those kids. Agreed about eloquent death. Yeah, Colette Baron Reed. Great with words. Tiffany's experienced a lot of loss lately. Kiana, it's beautiful. It's similar to the poem I uploaded on Insight Timer about my struggles. Ready to let go of the old stories and rewrite new ones. Kiana, that's beautiful. Sometimes you do need to break up with an old version of yourself. I've done that multiple times with a version of myself that is no longer serving me. You know, she did. We had some good times together. When I had to rely, I'm just going to use money as an example. When I had to rely on my frugality, it was fun. I would make the best out of a little bit, you know, and it was always like a fun thrill. When I had to like work for months and months and months to go to Six Flags, you know, and it was like when I finally got there, like, yeah, we did it. Six Flags is an amusement park, if you guys aren't aware. That's right, it's everywhere. But then there were bad times with Frugal Jacqui where I had to grieve. I did this last week. I grieved selling my upright bass. Quick story, for 10 years, I was a devout musician. I was a bassist. I was in every type of musical thing in my school that I could be in. I had dreams of being an orchestra conductor, but then I didn't vibe with the people at the college, so I switched to PE because that's more my vibe. But anyway, I was like a devout musician. And then it just kind of, you know, got lost in the shuffle and it went to the background because other things took over. And Frugal Jacqui had to sell her bass because she thought that that's all she could do to make rent. Like, she thought that she had no other options other than selling this thing that brought her joy because I don't deserve it. I'm not using it, you know? So there's detaching from a past version of yourself can be so relieving. You know, celebrate the good times you had together, forgive the difficult decisions that you had to make together, because it's time to move on and be the next version. Athena believes Molly McCord mentioned looking into the 5 stages of grief on her podcast this week, but I can't remember which for June event she was pointing to. Interesting. Interesting. Shauna let go of one long-term friendship and a short-term connection. It's been hard to release and not feel guilty. Moving on. Yes, this card also talked about how sometimes you feel relief. Sometimes you're like, thank goodness I don't have to care for that person anymore. Thank goodness I have my free time back. And it can bring up guilt, but like, you're human. If it was difficult at the end, honor that in yourself. It doesn't mean that you poo-poo on the whole relationship. It doesn't mean that you hate the person because it took a lot out of you when they needed your care for a long amount of time. It's okay. Celebrate all parts of the relationship. All right, one last card from this deck, and then we're going to pull a culminating card from a second brand new deck as well. So, how are these unexpected resources showing up? Talk about Uranus, because we got Mercury coming together with Uranus. We're starting to realize what WTF has been happening for the last 2 months and how is this benefiting me? Card number 3 is card number 34. Letting go of stories. Kay, what did you say about this card? Wasn't it something about that? Surrendering attachments, the stories we tell about ourselves, who we could become without the stories, releasing unconscious patterns, freedom to change. It's an amazing feeling when you don't want anything because you know your needs will be met. You feel fulfilled and at peace with where you are in life. You love for the sake of loving. You create for the sake of creation. And you live for the sharing of it all. Joy, sorrow, light, dark, birth, death, order, mess, mystical, mundane. This is a life of true service, being present without conditions, yet brimming with inspired creativity and extraordinary possibilities. This is the truth of a powerful, magical life, and the way here is in your sights. Be mindful now of the stories you tell about yourself and others. Make sure those stories embrace and have space for the true abundance the universe has for you. When you decide to finally let go of the stories of limitation, you may discover another path even better than the one you had been holding on to. Can you let go of all your attachments, desires, and most cherished dreams and let them be in the care of spirit? When you choose to do this without reservation, the magic will begin. Get ready. So these unexpected resources are going to show up when you stop assuming that the same thing is going to happen as has always happened. I feel like I always do this to card 3, but like this just ties together the whole freaking reading. It's because you're choosing how you speak to yourself and speak to others. That's how these unexpected resources are showing up. And specifically around the loss that you've had in your life. So if you let go of the story that everyone always leaves you, you can never hold on to good things always end, let go of that, speak about it in a different way, and then that will fully open the floodgates of the universe dropping these unexpected blessings in your life. That's actually something I asked I do daily tarot for myself, and I was asking yesterday or the day before, like, what am I ready to let go of in my business? I'm feeling like I have all these like new ideas, and I'm like, okay, something needs to leave, right? Some part of it needs to die. And essentially what I got was the thought that like I have to force things to happen, the thought that I have to will things to happen. So I'm practicing letting go of stories that hard work equals money. And I'm embracing the truth that I'm creating for the sake of creating, so I will be taken care of. I am loving for the sake of loving, so I will be taken care of. And you guys can do the same. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I appreciate your donation. I'm holding up the deck if you guys want to take a look at it again. Let's see what you guys are saying. Kiana, that's my sign, what I needed to hear this morning. Oh my God, this sounds like me and what I've been feeling the last 2 weeks. Really gives me clarity about what it is I need to be doing and saying right now. This came up with a client. It also came up with my husband yesterday. But the stories, right? Because it happened this way in the past, means that it'll most likely happen this way in the future. Poppycock. There's too much magic available in this life in order for that to be true. Yeah. I mean, with my husband, it came up in something just as a simple conversation, right? Like, he didn't want to tell me about a boundary that he had because years ago, I erupted when he tried to set a boundary. And he's like, well, that happened in the past, so Jackie's probably just going to blow up on me again this time. And that's not fair because I've grown and he's grown. So if he is attaching to the story that it's going to happen the same way it happened in the past, like, that's taking away from the magic that can be available by using your words. It is so because I say so, and so it is. It is so because I say so, and so it is. Thank you so much, Kelly and Tracy and April. Feeling very appreciated today. Thank you. Karen loves this deck. Jess, is this not basically the entire conversation we had yesterday? Yes, exactly. Danny, that's good advice. I tend to share too much of myself, and then I need to learn to hold back at times. Hang on, it jumped. The chat jumped. I need to learn to hold back at times, share my story with those who earn it. Interesting. I'm feeling a rebalance of your energy there. Kiana, let's go, soulmates. It's time to rewrite our stories and create something new and better for ourselves. Maybe a way to let go of your old story could be to rewrite the story that you desire. I do this sometimes. I call it scripting. It's a common practice. I didn't make this up, but you write. Sorry, there was animals. I was trying to figure out what animals they were. They were squirrels. I thought it was a hawk. I don't have my glasses on. Scripting is when you write a story or you write like a journal entry as if you are living in the dream reality that you desire. So that could be a way of letting go of old stories if you consciously reprogram your subconscious by feeding it what you do want, because then you'll just start to get it. Showed up near the end of the second card, Michelle. This third card hits home. I missed our mornings together. Things have been challenging, and last night there was a blowout with my husband. Loving these messages today. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder what was going on in the sky. I didn't have a blowout. We just had a very intense. It was mostly me. All right. How are these unexpected resources showing up? Every word has power. Death reclaims a life. Letting go of stories. And then I do have another new deck that I don't know how it works yet. So we're just going to ask, please clarify. Please use the Ancient Stones Oracle to clarify what we just got from that first deck. Sorry, something else just came through about this first reading. So this card was talking about communicating with compassion. Hang on, it's translating in my mind. This is Mercury Uranus right now. I'm just like, man, it made so much sense in my brain, and now I'm trying to get it out, and it's getting stuck. Maybe this will bring clarity. Retelling the story of whatever you're letting go of with more compassion. That's where I'm getting. Retelling the story of whatever you're letting go of with more compassion, with more intention, with less of like a victim mode as far as the story goes. You know, it's okay to say that things are hard, but let go of the story that like everything bad always happens to me. Nothing good ever comes out of anything. And just retell the story with more compassion. Oh, that one time that they wronged me, they were probably experiencing this. And I can relate to that because I've experienced that as well. So less ego, Carrie. Maybe. I'm still defining my relationship with the ego, because I don't think the ego is bad, but I can see how the ego can try to take over. But I also believe that we can create the ego that helps us utilize this ego in the life that we have. It's a whole thing. But yes, I see where you're coming from. More love, more compassion. Roseanne, thank you kindly for your donation. All right, please clarify this message. We're asking the Ancient Stones Oracle. It is a whole thing. Just one card to clarify the 3 cards that came out from the Guides of the Hidden Realms. So please clarify. Please send your energy into this deck and help us call out a clarifying message. Please clarify. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an exchange of energy in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. That's what I chatted about on Friday after our Insight Timer talk. It was really awkward for me to bring up, but I do appreciate the bits of appreciation that I'm seeing today. I was pretty much just talking about how it can feel a little deflating at times to come here multiple times a week, and I kind of feel used at the end of it sometimes. So it's all me recalibrating, you know, what I desire. But I do appreciate, even if it is just like $1, if that's what you can offer right now, it means the world. It really makes me feel appreciated. If you haven't yet followed me on Insight Timer, please consider following my profile so you can see when I post new sessions. For the foreseeable future, I'll be here about twice a week. Usually Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays. Actually, always Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays. And I always talk about astrology, and then we pull oracle cards to see how to utilize the energy. And on top of that, I'm releasing courses every season. Every astrological, that came out dumb. Every astrology season this year, I'm releasing a new course. So the Gemini course is live. We're in Gemini season for about another 3 weeks. Did I do math right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Let me know your feedback about that course too. I released one for Aries, for Taurus, for Gemini, and then I will be continuing throughout the rest of the year, this year, the Zodiac year. So you can also check out Astrology 101. It's all in my on my Insight Timer teacher page. And if you want to see what else I'm doing, go to my Insight Timer bio. Click on my link tree because I'm always up to 1 million things. And you can see everything else that I'm doing there. So thank you. Thank you guys so much. Christy, Sarah, Amanda, Becky, Gary. If you do donate, I've been having a lot of fun just doing book dumps for you guys. I feel into your energy. I open the book of one of the oracle decks that we use for the day. I find a message. I send it to you because why not? And I really hope that they are resonating with something that's going on in your life right now. So thank you guys. I didn't know that deck was released yet. It's not, Kelly. Man, I wish I could get paid to say this. However, I really love the Hay House card club, card deck club. It's really not that expensive. It's like 30 something with tax. You get charged 4 times a year. You get 3 decks. Sometimes you get, we always get new releases, right? So like this one is a new release. It's coming out in June. This guy is not coming out till July. So it's just a fun little way to get ahead of the curve. But now I'm like swimming in oracle decks, but hey, I use it for a living, so why not? That's right, April. Yeah, I don't take advantage of that. I don't have a lot of free time these days. They host webinars with all the authors. So that's helped me before. Like I get a deck and I'm like, I don't understand how to use this. I don't understand what this person's trying to say. I'm not resonating. And then they do these webinars and it makes a little bit more sense. So you're welcome, Kiana. All right, please clarify the first reading about how these unexpected resources are showing up. So the clarification coming from the Ancient Stones Oracle is the Sanctuary, harmony and balance, joy, contentment. An extraordinary group of Neolithic and Bronze Age stone monuments stands proud in the southwest of England. Avonbury, named for the village that occupies part of this sacred site, was built between 2850 and 2200 BC and features several stone circles, including the magnificent sanctuary, originally a sophisticated arrangement of standing stones and timber posts that served as a ceremonial temple. Of all the ancient stones I've experienced, the complex at Avonbury is the one I visited most often, and each time I do, I'm overcome with feelings of deep joy, open-heartedness, and inner peace. Perhaps this was once a place of celebration, and the stones hold that imprint in them. Many people who spend time with the stones here report seeing faces smiling back from them and experience a sense of deep inner joy. The sanctuary is a blessed card to receive, as it indicates a period of deep joy, ease, and inner peace. The kind where you wake in the morning with a soft, wide open heart, where you're free from worrying or being driven by fear. A time of softness and a harvest of gratitude and contentment, of basking in the sun and embracing the wonder of your life. Enjoy this window of warm, gentle peace. Do what you can to slow down, savor the gentle pace, and drink it all in. How can you welcome more joy and peace into your life? Well, let me tell you, you can let go of the stories that have caused you trauma and drama in the past. So clarification with the sanctuary. This is saying just like drop into the life that you have available to you. Speak about your life with a little bit more compassion, and that will bring you some more ease, joy, inner peace, right? Make the best out of what has left your life. Let go of it. It's leaving for a reason, you know? If it does help to just relive some of the worst moments and then relive some of the best moments in order to say goodbye, so be it. Let go. Let go of the old stories. It's your mindset that holds you in this trauma and drama, right? Everything is always wonderful, but it's this Mercury bit that makes it a little bit difficult. So with Mercury and Uranus meeting together tomorrow, allow yourself to just have a radicalized mindset about how good it can be. Let go of the fear of, oh shit, what's coming? And rewire your speech pattern to say, how good can it get? Hey, universe, please show me how good it can get. Because you deserve it. Let me know what you guys think about that. Just says if anyone is in the New York area, that's right. Rebecca Campbell, the creator of this deck, is hosting a week-long retreat at Omega in Rhinebeck in July. I know, Jess, you are stoked for that. Love this card. Yes, Greg. Aw. Carrie, let it go and flow. Indeed. Just bask in what is good. Mercury conjunct Uranus, our mind is finally catching up to all the radicalness. Yeah, stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah, just stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. Thank you, Diana. Have a wonderful day. I will be back next week on Monday. Monday we're talking about the Gemini new moon. We're talking about that real early because the new moon isn't until Thursday, but we're going to talk about the new moon on Monday. Duran. And then we're also going to talk about Mercury entering Gemini. That's all on Monday. And then Friday, we're going to talk about Mars entering Taurus. Love and hugs to you, Craig. Jacqui, beautiful reading. Thank you, Athena. This will be posted on my YouTube channel. If you missed part of the astrology description, I put all my replays on my YouTube channel. So you can either search my unique name, Jacqui Mancuso, or if you go into my Insight Timer bio, that is where you can find my Linktree. My Linktree has all my links, all my socials. I actually just shared, that's right, I shared something on my Instagram from Eckhart Tolle that made me think of this card. So check out my Instagram story. It might resonate a little bit more with this reading. TikTok, Facebook, my email list is there. If you guys want extra information about the things that I'm doing, the email list is a great place to sign up. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you guys. I'll be back on Monday. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Sending love to all. Namaste. Enjoy your radical insights with Mercury conjunct Uranus. I hope that video was just as insightful for you as it was for all of us. Darla and I really appreciate you being here with me. Thank you for liking this video, sharing it with a friend who you think would benefit, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Also, drop a comment and let us know what you got from this video. What was your biggest insight or takeaway? If you want to see what else I'm working on, click on my Linktree. It's right underneath this YouTube video. We'll see you next time. Take care.